16th of October to celebrate the big event.
Welcome. The Swaminarayan Hindu Temple was built in 2008 in Papatoetoe. Since then, it has been a landmark for the community. In 2022, we saw the addition of the Swaminarayan Complex. It boasts classic architecture and contemporary amenities and can accommodate small to very large groups. The commercial kitchens, nutritious vegetarian cuisine, and the latest audio-visual technology are excellent for the building's aesthetic appeal. Parking spaces are plentiful, both on and off-site, with the surrounding streets being Wentworth Avenue, Colmar Road, and Wilmie Avenue. There are 5 parking zones available. The temple is a significant spiritual and cultural hub for Auckland's Hindu community, and it receives a large number of guests each year. It is a stunning and ornately constructed structure with rich carvings and artwork of various Hindu gods. The temple is not just a site of worship, but also a hub for community involvement and humanitarian initiatives. Throughout the year, it conducts a wide range of events and programs for the benefit of the neighbourhood, such as food drives, health fairs, and educational seminars. The temple is open to all visitors regardless of faith, and visitors are able to partake in the temple's puja ceremonies and educational and cultural programs. It provides pastoral care for new migrants and people new to the area.
entrance of the temple is on Wentworth Avenue, but can also be reached from Colmar Road and Wilmay Avenue.
This is a spacious courtyard between the temple and the complex. This is the ideal location for an outdoor event or wedding ceremony. It has the Auckland Mandir and the temple entrance next to it. Another good use of this space could be for a festival with handicrafts, food and other stalls. It can be linked with the dining hall and the link building and is accessible from all parking lots. Most wedding ceremonies begin here with the welcome of the groom.
I am currently in the main reception hall of the Swaminarayan Complex, the true crown jewel of the complex. There are no pillars or columns to obstruct the view from any angle, and there are high ceilings, finely carpeted floors, artistic walls and curtains. The entire design includes flexibility. It is possible to program the LED lights to provide the ideal ambiance. The stage is able to be kept modest, large, or completely removed. Additionally, the orientation of the stage may be altered. The huge LED display wall in the centre and the two large screens on both sides make it easy for everyone to view the proceedings. The venue uses 5 professional amplifiers and a mix of 150 in-ceiling and surface mount audio speakers. It provides options for live streaming events in or around the complex. For instance, the arrival of the wedding procession from Wentworth Avenue can be seen and heard in the reception hall and dining hall. There are 2 types of seating available, theatre-style seating or round tables of 10, which can both easily fit up to 500 people. Events such as weddings, conferences, concerts and fundraisers can all be easily organised here. This is Reception Hall 1 of the Swaminarayan Complex. The beautifully designed collapsible divider has been used to create this space in the main reception hall. It occupies around 2/3 of the full hall. This section stage can be located in the centre, near a window or a wall. 250 people can be comfortably seated at tables, however more people can be accommodated in theatre-style seating. It is ideal for weddings, medium-sized conferences and family get-togethers such as birthday parties or memorial services. It has all the same features as the full-sized hall, such as the AV and display screens.
Welcome to Reception Hall 2, a scaled down version of Reception Hall 1 that can seat up to 250 people in rows. The small space is perfect for training groups, seminars, or social gatherings. When tables are used, the building can seat up to 120 people. The beauty and AV facilities remain the same as it's still part of the main reception hall. There is a large display screen and TVs available upon request. This foyer serves as a welcoming environment that is perfect for mix and mingling. There is space for a registration counter, display kiosks and serving tables for refreshments.
Welcome to the Swaminarayan Complex Meeting Room 1. Smaller groups attending a seminar or conference in our main reception hall can use this as a perfect breakout space. This room comfortably seats around 30 people. It has modern AV technology such as window surface technology. Bookings can be made separately as well. The central kitchen is able to provide food, drinks and snacks if required.
This fully functional room acts as a dressing room and green space for the bride. It facilitates her to look her best on her big day. There is also a groom's room. This room can be hired separately or together with the main reception halls. Welcome to Swaminarayan Complex Meeting Room 2. Similar to the room on the first floor, it can house up to 30 people. State-of-the-art AV facilities, such as window surface technology, are also available. This room can be hired out individually if there's no event happening in the dining hall that day. It also opens up to a beautiful garden where morning tea can be served. We are now in the ground floor foyer. It opens to the dining hall, which can cater to hundreds of people. It features exquisitely decorated walls and a large commercial kitchen, where delectable vegetarian cuisine is prepared. The hall also includes AV facilities. Food can be served on tables or buffet style with bain-maries.
Welcome to Dining Hall 1, a medium-sized dining room created by a sliding partition similar to that of the upstairs reception hall. As it is part of the full dining hall, it contains all of our magnificent features and AV amenities. It is served by our large commercial kitchen, which prepares delicious vegetarian food. Many pre-wedding ceremonies are also held in this room, such as garba, mehndi night and music night.
This is Dining Hall 2. It has the capacity of around 300 guests. Despite its modest size, it is fully functional and equipped with AV capabilities. Moreover, it is ideally situated adjacent to the huge commercial kitchen and the courtyard, making it easy to serve and use outdoors.
Swaminarayan Narnarayan
Jai Swaminarayan. We will shortly commence the event for today. We will be joined by these saints. As you can see, they are just walking into the complex now. A very good morning to all of you, and welcome to the inaugural ceremony of Swaminarayan Complex. May I request the ladies to be away from the central aisle, please. Ben, if you can be on the side, the Santos are arriving. Thank you. Namaste, Kia ora, Bula Vinaka, Malolile, and welcome to the Swaminarayan Complex. And a special welcome to our saints all the way from India. Some housekeeping announcements first. In the unlikely event of any emergency, because the divine blessings are with us, the exits are on both the sides here and at the back. These stairs lead down, and the exit is just outside where we assemble near the car park on the windward side if you are going from here. And if you are moving out from there, the assembly area is across the road on Wiley Avenue, again outside the complex. The restrooms are just outside, and there is drinking water which has been kept for you in the foyer. I welcome all of you to the formal inaugural ceremony of Shree Swaminarayan Complex. We have between us present here some very holy figures from India. They represent the 200 plus years old tradition of Swaminarayan Sampradaya, which began in the 18th century. Param Pujya Nirgundas Ji Swami, who is Mahant of Kalupur, Ahmedabad, he is looking after the affairs of the most ancient temple which was built by Lord Swaminarayan himself. The unique thing about this temple is that it was constructed on land given by the then British colonial government in India. In one of the rare occasions where they showed their respect for a community or a religious organization back in the day. They were so impressed by the teachings of Lord Swaminarayan that they gave this huge 5,000 acres plus land forever, which is like a freehold land, never done before that. They have also kept a copy of Shiksha Patri, which is the book written on the teachings of Lord Swaminarayan, in the British Museum. Nirgundas Ji Swami comes from a background of total dedication to the Swaminarayan principles and has had thousands of followers who became inspired by his teachings. One of them is now very famous, Narendra Modi. When he was not that famous, he used to be a regular visitor and also a disciple of Nirgundas Ji Swami. Swamiji has been, just like Lord Swaminarayan, a social reformer and has changed many lives, including the one of Dr. Kanti Patel here, who considers him to be a spiritual guru. Dr. Kanti Patel was uniquely fortunate that he got the initiation from Maharashtra himself, and he got his spiritual knowledge from Nirgundas Ji Swami. Then we also have Param Puja Swami, P.P. Swami from Jetalpur Temple. We will be listening to his wise words shortly. We have the Param Puja P.P. Swami from Gandhinagar, who is also heading the Gandhinagar Temple as Mahant. We are also fortunate to have Ramkrishna Das Ji Swami, who will be addressing us as well in a few minutes' time after the formal ceremony. We welcome Brahma Vihari Swamiji, and we also welcome Satyaprakash Ji Swami, all of whom have come here to bless this occasion. The sequence of events is that after we have the formal lamp lighting ceremony, we will be addressed by the sons, and then there will be other speakers following that. But to start any such occasion in a divine environment, may I request first of all our own Shastriji, Tushar Bhai Shastri, to come up and sing the Hindu prayer which is appropriate for such occasion. Hello.
Harihi Om Bhadarang Karnebhihi Srenuyama Devaha Bhadaram Pashiyemakshabhirajajataraha Sthirairangai Tushtovaghushastano Birbhyase Mahide Bahitanjadayuhu Shvastina Indro Vradhasaravaha Swastina Bukha Vishavedaha Swasti nastarksho arishtane Swasti no brehasapatir dadhatu Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Sahaviryam Karavavahai Tejasvina Vadhitamastu ma Vidvishavahai Om Shanti 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 Bolo Swaminarayan Bhagavan Ki Jai.
Thank you, Tushar Bhai, for those divine words. As you might have observed on the screen, the prayers are not meant for any personal prosperity or any religious success. They are meant for universal peace. That is the foundation of Hinduism. We look for universal peace. We look for the feeling of world as a family. We call it Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam. So in keeping with that, we are here today in a community center. If you have had the chance of looking around, you would have seen not only things which glorify Hinduism or India, but anything and everything that is good in this world, in this humanity. We have tried to incorporate that on the walls just to signify the oneness which binds us all. Below all these different labels of race, religion, ethnicity, we are still human beings. And that's the strength which binds us all together. May I now request the dignitaries present amongst us to do the honors by coming up on the stage and first receive the blessings from the sons on that side. I will request these gentlemen, Honorable Michael Woods, Right Honorable Vincent Peters, Mr. Christopher Luxon, Mr. David Seymour, and Raghubai, who has come all the way from India. Please come up on the stage and receive some blessings from the saints who are sitting here. And then please remain on the stage for the lamp lighting. On the ladies' side, may I request Ranjana Ben to please have Jenny Salisa, Melissa Lee, Ms. Brooke Van Wilden, and Ms. Lotu Fully on this side, please. And she will be doing the lamp lighting with the
Harihi Om Ma Aganirjyotiragani Swaha Surjyotiragani Swaha Jyotihi Surjaha Surjyotiragani Swaha Aganirbarcho Jyotirbarchaha Swaha Surjo Bharcho Jyotiragani Swaha Jyotihi Surjaha Surjo Jyotiragani Swaha Aganirbharcho Jyotirbarchaha Swaha Surjo Bharcho Jyotirbarchaha Swaha Jyotihi Surjaha Surjo Jyotihi Swaha Dipastha Devatayai Namo Namaha Bolo Nara Narayana Devani Jai. Thank you.
May I also request Dr. Elis Situ to please come up on the stage and be blessed by the saints. Dr. Situ has been a pillar of strength for Dr. Kanti Patel, has been supporting this temple for many, many, many years, and we have a special place for him in our hearts. Thank you, gentlemen and ladies. You can take your seats. The Param Pujya P.P. Swami, who is Mahant of the Jetalpur temple, has come to this city many a times and is no stranger for the Satsangis here. Today we'll be listening to him and his wise words. May I request Param Pujya P.P. Swami to address the gathering.
Narayanam namaskrutyam naram chaiva narottamam devi saraswatim vyasam tato jayo mudirayet. आज स्वामीनारायण कॉम्प्लेक्स के ओपनिंग में उद्घाटन में पधारे हुए सभी महानुभावों को मैं मेरा सादर जय स्वामीनारायण। भगवान स्वामीनारायण द्वारा प्रस्थापित संप्रदाय का सर्वप्रथम स्वामीनारायण मंदिर अहमदाबाद कालुपुर पीठस्थान से परम पूज्य आचार्य श्री कौशलेंद्र प्रसाद जी महाराज श्री के आशीर्वाद और अनुज्ञा से न्यूजीलैंड की धरती में ऑकलैंड सिटी में आज से 15 साल पहले ये स्वामीनारायण मंदिर का प्रारंभ हुआ, प्रतिष्ठा हुई। 15 साल के बाद परम पूज्य आचार्य श्री के आदेश अनुसार ISSO संस्था के जुड़े हुए इस मंदिर आज स्वामीनारायण कॉम्प्लेक्स का उद्घाटन हो रहा है। स्वामीनारायण मंदिर और स्वामीनारायण कॉम्प्लेक्स दोनों का उद्देश्य एक ही है। मंदिर जो है उस साधना का, पूजा पाठ का, भजन भक्ति का, जप तप व्रत पुण्य का कर्म के लिए मंदिर बनाए जाते हैं। और जो कॉम्प्लेक्स बनाए हैं वो गृहस्थाश्रम और भौतिक साधनों की और भौतिक क्रियाकांड की लिए ये कॉम्प्लेक्स बनाए गए हैं। दोनों का उद्देश्य एक है। आपको आश्चर्य होगा, मंदिर और ये कॉम्प्लेक्स का उद्देश्य एक कैसे हो सकता है। जैसे मंदिर भी एक साधना का केंद्र है, ऐसे कॉम्प्लेक्स भी साधना का केंद्र है। मंदिर में पूजा पाठ जो करते हैं उनके लिए प्राप्ति साध्य वो होता है कि जो धर्म, अर्थ, काम और मोक्ष चारे पुरुषार्थ की सिद्धि के लिए मंदिर बनाए जाते हैं। ऐसे कॉम्प्लेक्स में भी धर्म, अर्थ, काम और मोक्ष चार पुरुषार्थ के लिए यहाँ पर आयोजन होता है। मंदिर में उत्सव होते हैं। कोई पाटोत्सव होता है, कोई जन्मोत्सव होता है, कोई दीपावली उत्सव होता है, होली का उत्सव होता है, अन्नकूट उत्सव होता है। ऐसे कॉम्प्लेक्स में भी लग्न उत्सव होता है। लग्न उत्सव मनाए जाते हैं। किसी की जन्मतिथि का उत्सव होता है, किसी का लग्न तिथि का उत्सव होता है। हमारी परंपरा में उत्सव मंदिर में भी होता है, कॉम्प्लेक्स में भी होता है। तो उसको लग्न उत्सव को भी उत्सव मनाते हैं। लग्न उत्सव वो भी एक पवित्र कार्य है, वो भी एक साधना है। हमारी परंपरा में लग्न ग्रंथि, जो लग्न उत्सव होता है, वो एक सिद्धि के लिए होता है, साधना के लिए होता है। जैसे मंदिर में सबसे पहले गणपति जी की स्थापना होती है, पूजा होती है, ऐसे लग्न में भी पहली गणपति जी की स्थापना होती है और नवग्रहों की स्थापना होती है। अग्नि के साक्षी में 4 परिक्रमा होती है। जो लड़का लड़की की शादी होती है तो 4 परिक्रमा, अग्नि की परिक्रमा होती है, प्रतिज्ञा होती है, एक संकल्प होता है कि हम दोनों साथ मिलके क्या करेंगे, धर्म का पालन करेंगे, अर्थ की साधना करेंगे, अपनी इच्छाओं की पूर्ति करेंगे और अंतिम में हमारा एक मोक्ष होगा। मंदिर में जो उत्सव है उसका भी लक्ष्य मोक्ष है और लग्न उत्सव में भी लक्ष्य मोक्ष है। हमारे संस्कृति में गृहस्थाश्रम उत्तम कहा जाता है। गृहस्थाश्रम बहुत पवित्र होता है कि अनेकों में भटकता काम एक में केंद्रित करना, वो भी एक तपस्या है, वो भी एक साधना है। वो साधना की सिद्धि के लिए उनका एक उत्सव मनाया जाता है। तो ये जो कॉम्प्लेक्स बनाया गया है वो धर्म, अर्थ, काम और मोक्ष की सिद्धि के लिए कॉम्प्लेक्स बनाया गया है। तो आज कॉम्प्लेक्स का एक उद्घाटन के अवसर पर हम लोग एक उत्सव मना रहे हैं। लगना उत्सव बहुत पवित्र होता है। आपने सुना होगा सबरी का नाम। भगवान श्री राम सबरी के आश्रम पर गए थे। जब सबरी की शादी होने वाली थी तो शादी में उनके पिताजी ने हजारों पशुओं का बलि देने के लिए एक आयोजन किया था। वो हिंसा का आयोजन किया था। जिसमें हिंसा होती है उसको उत्सव नहीं कहा जाता है, उसको पाप कहा जाता है। लग्न उत्सव में हिंसा को छोड़कर सबरी वहाँ से निकल गई और मतंग ऋषि के आश्रम में गई। तो उसको मिलने के लिए भगवान श्री राम अपना राज्य छोड़ के, सत्ता छोड़ के सबरी को मिलने आ गए थे। तो इतना पवित्र ये लग्न उत्सव है जिसको मिलने के लिए भगवान खुद उनके पास गए थे। तो ये कॉम्प्लेक्स भी एक मंदिर है। भले ऊपर ध्वजा ना हो, भले कलश ना हो, फिर भी ये धर्म, अर्थ, काम और मोक्ष की पूर्ति के लिए, साथ सिद्धि के लिए ये कॉम्प्लेक्स बनाया गया है। ये बहुत पवित्र कार्य है। हमारी संस्था ISSO, उनके हमारे प्रेसिडेंट कांति भाई के जो अच्छे विचार होते हैं, उसमें जब महर्षि का आशीर्वाद मिलता है तो वो कार्य सफल होता है। मैं अभिनंदन करता हूँ डॉक्टर कांति भाई को, साधुवाद देता हूँ, कोटि कोटि अभिनंदन करता हूँ कि आपने बहुत अच्छा काम किया है। हमारे संप्रदाय में कुछ लोग संकुचित भी होते हैं, छोटे माइंड वाले भी होते हैं कि बस मंदिर ही बनाओ और क्या। लेकिन ये भी मंदिर है, ये मानव मंदिर है, वो भगवान का मंदिर है। मानव भी भगवान का एक रूप है। इसलिए मानव की व्यवस्था, मानव की सेवा, जन कल्याण, ये भी एक बहुत बड़ी उपलब्धि है हमारे एक संप्रदाय में। जो भगवान स्वामीनारायण ने जो सिद्धांत दिया था, उसी उद्देश्य के अनुसार आज न्यूजीलैंड में एक बहुत अवसर हमारे सामने है, जो आज स्वामीनारायण कॉम्प्लेक्स हम ओपनिंग कर रहे हैं। स्वामीनारायण संप्रदाय की जो उपलब्धि है, संतों का, संघ का क्या प्रभाव होता है, मैं आपको एक बात बताऊंगा जो मैंने मेरी आंखों से देखा है। सन 1994 में हमारे महर्षि जब पहली बार न्यूजीलैंड में पधारे ऑकलैंड में, तब हमारे जयंती भाई पटेल जैसे 2-3 हरिभक्त यहाँ थे, हमारे फॉलोअर्स। कांति भाई जयंती भाई के भाई है, छोटे भाई है। महर्षि जब आने वाले थे तब जयंती भाई ने कांति भाई को बताया कि भैया हम बड़े महर्षि धर्मगुरु हमारे आ रहे हैं, तो आप आपके घर पर ठहराइए और पूरी सेवा का आप ले लीजिए। कांति भाई ने मना कर दिया कि मैं इसमें मानता नहीं हूँ, मैं इसमें श्रद्धा नहीं रखता हूँ। कौन महर्षि है, कौन स्वामीनारायण संप्रदाय है, मुझे कोई इसमें इंटरेस्ट नहीं है। जयंती भाई ने अपने घर पर ठहराया और एक रिक्वेस्ट किया कांति भाई को, आप कुछ न करिए, एक काम जरूर करिए। महर्षि जब एयरपोर्ट से आवे, आप अपनी गाड़ी में बैठा कर ले आइए और जब तक रहे तब आपकी गाड़ी में महर्षि को बैठाइए, इतना तो मुझे सहयोग करिए। तो जयंती भाई ने जो अपना सवाल रखा तो कांति भाई ने जयंती भाई का सवाल स्वीकार कर लिया और सन 1994 में महर्षि को गाड़ी में बैठा के एयरपोर्ट से ले आए घर तक और जब तक 10 दिन तक न्यूजीलैंड में रहे, ऑकलैंड में रहे, तब तक कांति भाई आज महाराष्ट्र के साथ रहें और साथ रहने का संघ का ऐसा परिणाम आया, बिल्कुल परिवर्तित हो गए आज कांति भाई। डॉक्टर कांति भाई पहले सिर्फ डॉक्टर थे, आज डॉक्टर कांति भाई एक भक्त बन के एक समाज की सेवा के लिए तन मन धन से समर्पित हो गए हैं, बिल्कुल बदल गए आदमी। और दोबारा 96 में जब महाराष्ट्र का आगमन हुआ, पता चला कि महाराष्ट्र पधारने वाले हैं, तो कांतिबेन बताया कि अब की बार तो मेरे घर पर ही महाराष्ट्र को ठहराना है। सही बात है ना। तो हमारे सभी संतों की ओर से हम साधुवाद देते हैं, अभिनंदन करते हैं। और इस अवसर पर हमारे आचार्य महाराष्ट्र पधारने वाले थे, बिल्कुल तय था, तो कुछ संयोगवशात नहीं पधार सके हैं, तो महाराष्ट्र ने अपनी ओर से आशीर्वाद पत्र भेजे हैं। तो हम संत लोग साथ मिलकर हमारे डॉक्टर कांति भाई पटेल को हम ये महाराष्ट्र ने जो आशीर्वाद पत्र भेजा है, वो आशीर्वाद पत्र हम डॉक्टर कांति भाई को हम अर्पण करेंगे। तो बधाइए कांति भाई, ये हम आपको आचार्य महाराष्ट्र का आशीर्वाद पत्र प्रदान करेंगे। और जो भी वर्ड है वो महेश भाई प्रस्तुत करेंगे।
Thank you. To put things in perspective for those who were not able to understand P.P. Swami speaking in Hindi, the Maharashtri from Ahmedabad who wanted to join this event and was totally prepared for it couldn't make it, but he has sent his blessings, and I'm just going to read through the blessing that Maharashtri has sent. Dr. Kantibhai Patel, ISSO and Swaminarayan devotees at large are ever indebted to you for your selfless and most dedicated service in strengthening the foundation of Swaminarayan Sampradaya in Auckland. Your and your family's services towards the immigrants of Indian origin in New Zealand are always held in a very high esteem and very widely applauded in New Zealand. The newly constructed Swaminarayan Complex is a new jewel in the crown of International Swaminarayan Satsang organization. It shall be a boon to our community, which shall always remember your efforts and passion in putting up this unique complex. Our most hearty blessings to you and your family. We pray to Almighty Supreme Bhagwan Shree Swaminarayan to shower His choicest graces upon you and your family. May Almighty Sri Narnarayan Dev bless you with a long and healthy life to serve the original Swaminarayan Sampradaya for many years to come, with hearty blessings, signed by Tejendra Prasad Ji Pandey, who is the 6th Acharya, Koshalendra Prasad Ji Pandey, who is the 7th Acharya, and Vrijendra Prasad Pandey, who is the incoming Acharya. That's from Ahmedabad. Also, to put into perspective the speech of Param Puja P.P. Swami, although his words are too heavy to be just brought into a few sentences, I'm just going to take a couple of important points that he mentioned. He said this complex is maybe a distance away from the temple, but it is still a temple. Because temple does not just mean having worships and ceremonies and services, it also means serving the humankind. ISSO temple has been doing that even before this complex was constructed. But now it has got more resources, more wherewithals with which we will be doubling up on our efforts to serve the community. He also mentioned a very interesting fact, which even I was not aware of, that in 1993, our Dr. Kanti Patel had refused to give Maharashtri an audience, and kind of, I don't believe in this, but the ways of the Lord are mysterious. So in Bhagavad Gita, we have Krishna being the Sarthi, the driver of the chariot, and Arjun getting the teachings from Krishna. Here, the roles were reversed. The Sarthi was given the teachings by Krishna sitting in the back seat or front seat, who knows. And Maharashi converted in those 10 days, just like in those 18 adhyayas of Bhagavad Gita, Krishna converted Arjun. Maharashi made an Arjun out of Dr. Kanti Patel. So thank God for that visit, and thank you, Jayanti Bhai, for making that happen. That story, which started in 1993 and actually started building up in 1996, our own Prashant Mane has prepared a presentation. Now, may I request him to come up on the stage and tell us a little bit about it when we see the presentation in a couple of minutes from now. Prashant Mane.
Jai Swaminarayan and Manish Bhai. That was a very good intro about Bhagavad Gita. There's an old saying which goes, a journey of 1,000 miles starts with the first step. And that is how this journey has started. And as Pujya Swamiji mentioned, with the blessings, a lot of things come true. So just having a thought is how this thing started. It started with one thought, a vision and a dream. But just having a vision or a dream is not enough. The challenge is converting that into reality. When that thought and vision is supported by deep faith, by blessings of the divine, of the holy acharyas and the holy sons, and then joined hands by community, the dream comes true. And what you see here today is a dream come true. I will not be able to summarize in 10 minutes in words the incredible journey of the last decade or two. So why not I take you on a visual journey of the last few decades to understand and to listen and to see the incredible story of the ISSO Swaminarayan Temple Auckland and the Swaminarayan Complex Auckland. Can we have the visuals, please? Thank you.
Jai Swaminarayan. Welcome to ISSO Swaminarayan Mandir Complex Auckland. This beautiful entrance and this corridor has seen thousands of people walk into this beautiful mandir in the last 15 years. These pillars here have witnessed the long hours, the hard work, the dedication and devotion of many of the devotees referred to as Satsangis who have worked tirelessly to make this beautiful dream come true. Let me walk you down the corridors of time and memory.
महाधर्मान्वये पुण्ये नाम्ना पाप विनाशके हरिप्रसाद विप्रस्य स्वामी नामना हरिः स्वयं. This shlok from Vishnu Dharmottar Puran and many other scriptures has documented that the Supreme Lord Almighty Himself will descend to the earth bearing the name Swaminarayan. As prophesied, on 3rd April 1781, on Ram Navami Day, a celestial child was born in a small village called Chapaiya near Ayodhya, India. As years passed, this divine child exhibited his supernatural powers in various ways by achieving some miraculous tasks which are simply not humanly possible. By the age of 20, he was declared the scion of Uddhav Sampradaya by his guru Ramanand Swami, who was none other than the reincarnation of Uddhavji. The same Uddhav Sampradaya was subsequently renamed Swaminarayan Sampradaya. This divine child was revealed to be the Supreme Lord Almighty Himself and was recognized by the world as Lord Swaminarayan. In the past 200 odd years, the Swaminarayan Sampradaya has undertaken several activities and projects focused on the community's humanitarian, social, educational and cultural needs. Under the able leadership of the Acharyas, who are the direct descendants of Lord Swaminarayan, its aim is the preservation of true knowledge and spiritual growth in India and across the world. In 1994, Dr. Kanti Patel met Acharya Maharaj Shree Tejendra Prasadji, the sixth direct descendant of Lord Swaminarayan. This meeting with Acharya Maharaj and his monks profoundly impacted Dr. Kanti Patel, who realized that life is not just about money, success and material ambitions, a higher purpose and goal exists to give true meaning to life. It was a life-changing moment. The vision of Acharya and saints became the life mission for Dr. Kanti Patel. In 1998, a small Hari Mandir was set up in the industrial area of Manukau. With a handful of Satsangis, the foundation of the Swaminarayan Satsang took a small but strong foothold in New Zealand. Each Sunday evening, they would meet to listen to discourses, chant bhajans, perform pujas by watching videos, and celebrate cultural events. The roots of spiritual growth were more entrenched in the minds and hearts of these satsangis. In 2001, Acharya Maharaj Shree made his maiden visit to New Zealand. This visit was the first ever by any Acharya to this country and was the turning point in the history of Swaminarayan Satsang. His visit provided a much-needed spiritual and moral boost to the Satsang. With increased vigor and zeal, the Satsangis worked tirelessly to create a home for their spiritual and cultural preservation and growth. They embarked on taking the challenge of setting up the first ISSO Swaminarayan Mandir in New Zealand. These endeavors bore fruit, and in 2003, a place of worship on Wentworth Avenue, Papatoetoe, South Auckland, was identified as the divine home for the temple. After 5 years of hard work and perseverance, the dream finally came true, and a magnificent temple opened its gates to Aucklanders in 2008. It instantly became a landmark building in Auckland. Its vibrancy and piousness brought thousands of devotees to the temple to celebrate cultural and religious events. Each week, hundreds of people visited the temple. The place of worship soon became an oasis for the integration of cultures, languages, and social values, and to celebrate one's social and life events. The influx of Indian diaspora in the first decade of the 21st century created the need to provide a place of integration of social and cultural values, a place to nurture and blend the value systems of Kiwi and Indian lifestyles to provide for a harmonious acceptance for coexistence.
Jai Swaminarayan. My name is Ranjana Patel, one of the trustees of this complex and the Mandir. We decided very quickly after we opened the Mandir in 2008 that the building we built was not big enough, was not purpose-built for a community complex, and hence the seeds were planted to build a complex which would provide a lot more than what we could in a temple. The need we identified with the pastoral care of our elders and the international students and the new migrants that were coming to New Zealand and South Auckland was greater than any of the services that were provided to them.
In 2018, the Bhumi Pujan ceremony began a new phase in this sacred journey with an unparalleled fulfilling feeling of giving back and contributing to society. The magnificent complex you see today took shape between 2018 to 2020 and immediately swung into action to reach out to the community during COVID and several other humanitarian needs. Today, this state-of-the-art infrastructure has several community service spaces.
So in planning this, we decided that we would have what we didn't have in the temple, which were breakout rooms, meeting rooms, and all the facilities to facilitate things that we really wanted to do as a community, which is hold large weddings, functions, children's and other activities which weren't catered for. So we have got a large complex that now does do big weddings, that does hold community meetings. We hold the local papatoe. We do art of living yoga classes. We have incorporated with a lot of health days where we were able to have heart checks, CVD checks, cervical screening, breast screening. All of those things are now be able to provided in this facilities.
Large kitchen fitted with ultra-modern equipment adhering to the best food hygiene and health practices, serving vegetarian delicacies.
Hi, my name is Shree Swaminarayan. I am the trustee for the Swaminarayan Hindu Temple in Patotsav. Recently, we have built a complex behind the temple. We also have the state-of-art kitchen at the temple. We also cater for in-house up to 500 people, and outside catering we have done so far up to 650, and which has done smoothly. All our foods are pure vegetarian, cooked in-house for devotees for special occasions and on the Sundays, and the weddings happens on weekend basis or any time of the day, which can be catered here easily.
We have held many functions here, including fundraisers for the Kaikoura earthquake, where we provided the funds to open the local swimming pool completion when it was completely broken. We provided funds for the Nepal earthquake. The community all came together for these occasions. And we also identified the need for childcare, where mums would be happy to send their children knowing that vegetarian food is being served. So with the complex opening, there is a child care opening right next door, which will be operational soon.
It plans to cater the varied needs of society by providing mental health and meditation classes, physical well-being classes such as yoga and Zumba, educational support for young and old on various subjects, cultural courses in music, dance, theatre, language, support and well-being of the elderly in the community, assistance and guidance to new immigrants.
The biggest thing about the temple and the complex is you can see people coming through and they can see that they are not ostracized in any way. They are welcomed, the atmosphere is welcome, the environment is welcoming, and so they are at home very quickly.
The complex and the adjoining place of worship provide for spiritual, cultural and social coexistence and are fast becoming manifestations of the shared vision of the Kiwi Indian community.
That was beautifully created, Prashant Bhai. Congratulations on your efforts and the team behind it. I'm pretty sure lots of sleepless nights have gone into this. We will now have the wise words of Param Pujya Ram Krishna Das Ji Swami. Would you like the mic there?
सहसे कृष्ण परब्रह्म भगवान पुरुषोत्तम उपास्येष्ट देवो नः सर्वाविर्भाव कारणम. Almighty Bhagavan Shree Swaminarayan, respected all the holy saints accompanying with me on the stage, invited guests and another all of the family members of ISSO New Zealand, welcome. Jai Swaminarayan and very good morning to all of you. Jai Swaminarayan. Yesterday also I mentioned and today again, I'm not quite used to speak in English, so very first sorry if I made some mistake, and especially in my pronunciation. It will be Indian because I am proudly Indian. First of all, again, very congratulations to Team ISSO New Zealand and Captain and Sailor of the ship, Dr. Kanti Patel and his family. As all the Santos and all the Manish Bhai and Mr. Mane mentioned. The philosophy of Hinduism and Swaminarayan Sampradaya is also part of Hinduism. We believe that religion is not just rituals. Religion is not just doing worship of whichever God you believe in. Religion is a way of living a life. Today, every human being we all are living a life. But maybe my word are harsh, but half of or more than half of them are living a purposeless life. We don't have the purpose in our life. Or even if we have, we are self-centralized. We are living for our own self. We are living for our own happiness. And when I use the word happiness, we think that the more materialistic things we have, we are more happy. And the human race is running towards the material. And there the religion, the teaching, and Bhagavan Swaminarayan came on this earth, and he teaches all the humanity, all of us, to relax, sit, think, and live a purposeful life. I want to share a very small story of very famous Formula One racers. May you all have heard the name Mr. Michael Schumacher. In his biography, he noted a very small story. Once he was passing through a highway of his nation. We all know that roads are very great in this country, and people are running like 80 or 100 or more than that. On that busy highway, like hundreds of cars were running through that. A 12-year-old boy was standing on the side of the highway. He was trying to wave his hand, trying to stopping the running cars. But we all know on the highway we are running super fast, no one was ready to stop. So after trying for at least 5 or 10 minutes, the 12-year-old boy lifted a stone and starting to throwing on the running cars on the highway. Luckily, unluckily, on that same day, Mr. Schumacher was driving his car on that same road, and that thrown stone hit on the back glass of Schumacher. The glass was broken, and we all know he must have the Ferrari or maybe the costliest car of the earth. Glass was broken, he was disturbed, he beside his car, he was furious, like, who did this? Why he did this? He came back to the child and he was like very angry. He was about to scold him. What are you doing, boy? Why are you throwing the stones on the car? But before Schumacher do anything, the boy started crying, running towards Michael, hugged him, and said, Mister, can you please help me? What happened? My younger sister fell down on the road. We were playing nearby and somehow he fell down. My parents are not in the house. No one is here to help me. I don't have any communication instrument. So I'm trying, since half an hour I'm trying to stop anyone that they can take us to the hospital or take care of my younger sister, but no one is ready to stop. And that's why I started to throw the stones on the running cars. After hearing all the incident, Schumacher took them to the hospital and the girl saved. But he said that small incident shaken my heart. And he said the very last, the bottom line of the story is, we all are running for our own happiness, running for our own goals. We are running so fast that sometimes we forget the sorrow, the sadness, or the need of the people who are besides us. So at least Don't make them throw stones to you. Drive slow, look at them, stop there, help them whenever they need. Maybe this story we heard, we read, but hard to apply. And I must say, Dr. Kanti Patel has applied this. In his busy, very busy schedule of life, we know he's a very, very famous and very, I can't use the more words, but the level of earning he has in his life, he stopped for the community, he stopped for all of us, and now he's totally retired for this complex only. So I again pray to Bhagavan Swaminarayan, bless him, bless Ranju auntie and entire his family, Mr. Deepak Bhai or Mr. Rakesh Bhai or all the family members. Kanti Bhai, you did a tremendous job. Congratulations from the bottom of heart from all of us. A round of applause is not justice your efforts, but again, Bhagavan Swaminarayan and the Mandir and what Mr. P.P. Swamiji already said. Complex, some people are very narrow-minded. They see in the religion or the temple is very differently. Temple or the religion is not just a worship, not just a rituals. It's a way of living life. Each and every step of life we live rightly is the religion, and especially the Hindu religion and the Swaminarayan Sampradaya. Bhagavan Swaminarayan incarnated on this earth and taught all of us to be a better human being. And what is written down on Shikshapatri or what he told us, he lived in his life too. He went to the smallest people of the earth, he went to his house, brace him, and try to make his life better. And that's what we are trying to do here. I don't have much word, and again, from all of us, we pray Almighty Bhagavan Swaminarayan to bless this complex. Again, maybe it's very, I'm not sure because I'm coming from the land, there once marriage is a 7 births connection. Maybe you have a different story or different opinion, but this is the place of marriage, this is the place of baby shower, this is the place of all the dance and all the cultural activity for all of us. So whoever comes in this temple, as P.P. Swami said, complex is also a temple. So this place bless each and every occasion, each and every event. Whoever comes here, may Bhagavan Swaminarayan, Almighty God, blesses their lives with his divine blessings. And at last, Sarve bhavantu sukhinah, Sarve santu niramaya, Sarve bhadrani pashyantu, ma dukha bhag bhavet. It means, may God make us all happy, make us all healthy, and no one will sleep hungry, no one will be sick. May God bless all of us in sense we all are brothers. As Manish Bhai mentioned, we have a very small things, Vasudhaiva Kutumbakam, very small words, but it means the entire world is our family. So we all are family members here. So, and again, thank you to Kiwis to accept us as yours, and we all are brothers and sisters, and we all human beings are a part of the family. So at last, Bhagavan bless us all with wisdom, with good life, and with happiness in our heart, kindness in the heart. And at last, I request all of you to start 3 factories from today to now. 3 factories is 1, ice in brain, sugar on tongue, and hard work in hand. May God bless all of you. Thank you. Jai Swaminarayan.
As I mentioned before, Param Pujya Ram Krishna Das Ji Swami has got the gift of Saraswati, which is goddess of knowledge in Hindu Sanskriti. He also mentioned a very good fact about Dr. Kanti, that he has now retired for the complex. So before I invite Dr. Kanti to come here to give his welcome speech, just imagine that almost a little bit over 50 years ago, a student staying in the Auckland hospital accommodation, just a new doctor, not even fully qualified to come out on the street and practice. In the next 40 years or so, built the largest primary health care center, not in Auckland, but the whole of New Zealand, servicing the largest population of the Pacifica, the Maori, and the whole of South Auckland. And then, just like we change our clothes, changes his whole direction, says enough is enough, and devotes his time for these things. So that, ladies and gentlemen, is amongst us walking Dr. Kanti Patel. May I request him to come and give his welcome speech for this occasion. Dr. Kanti Patel.
Jai Swaminarayan, welcome to all of you. Purna Purushottam, Istadev Bhagavan Swaminarayan, Param Pujya Nirgundas Swami, Param Pujya P.P. Swami and all the other sons, Honorable Minister of Immigration, Michael Wood, Leader of National Party, Honorable Chris Lakshan, Leader of ACT Party, Honorable David Seymour, Leader of New Zealand First Party, Right Honorable Winston Peter, Member of Parliament, Jenny Salisi, Michelle Lee, all my community and religious leaders from various organizations, my overseas guests, my friends, my fellow shareholders and directors of various companies, and my dearest Satsangi Bayu and Beno. It is indeed a great pleasure to welcome you all here on this auspicious occasion from the bottom of my heart. My fellow trustees, Satsangis of ISSO, and Ranjana, deeply appreciate your presence here today to celebrate this auspicious occasion. To all my supporters, well-wishers, and those who have contributed in small and large way to this journey, I salute you and express my deepest, humblest gratitude. In particular, it is essential to make a special mentions to few people, including Suresh Bayamin, Bipin Thakur, Atul Bhai Patel, Dharmendra, Naveen Patel, Hemant Patel, Sanjay Patel, Veer Khar, and each and every one of the Satsangi brothers and sisters who contributed their valuable times and efforts and resources for the temple and the community. Your support has been crucial in making this complex possible. To my friends from the good old days and to my Samaj, my distant family members, you are remembered at all time. Despite the fact that I have not been in touch with you, my spiritual journey and objective has played a key role in defining the time that I spend each day. The fact of my cricket match, I can say, my captain is here. The afternoons of barbecues and the parties were the event that I used to look forward each week. Albeit they are distant memory, but you are never forgotten. It is essential I also acknowledge my patients as well as the team of my practice is Tamaki Healthcare, now known as a Tamaki Health, and my Nirvana partners. Thanks from the bottom of my heart. Your unquestioning support has truly given me the chance to build up the largest medical practice. Also able to establish these sorts of community activity, and also effort to make some progress in achieving the spiritual journey. My really thanks to all of you, my patients, all my staff. Human life is very precious, and it's a divine gift bestowed upon us, each and every one of us here. And what we do with it, or how we translate, this journey is unique to every individual. I believe that life is not about how long we have lived, or how much we have earned, or how famous we are. Based upon my understanding, I believe life is all about how much difference which we have made to the lives of others, and how well one has able to contribute to the betterment of the society. My knowledge and understanding of the spiritual journey is about elevating one's soul through the service to others, self and God realization, and total surrender to the Supreme Divinity. I heard this word so many times in the last 2 days. The concept of Vasudeva Kutumbam, the world is one family, become absolutely important to this philosophy. Yes, each one of us has unique set of circumstances, a different story, varying path, and a personal worldview, all of which we collectively need to acknowledge and accept. Our scripture clearly specifies the importance of the des, that means the location, the kal, the prevailing circumstances, and the sang, the people whom we associated with. How we grab that opportunity presented to us, and that defines our destiny. It is entirely up to every individual. I have been very blessed to have favorable convergence of all the above three factors. Being born of Indian heritage of devoted parents in Kenya, having studied in India and lived in New Zealand, all this factor has molded my thinking and journey. People who has known my late parents would easily acknowledge their kind, gentle, humble, and loving nature. Having this genetic inheritance of these wonderful parents is the biggest inherited wealth that I could have gained. It is said at the right time, the learned teacher, mentor, the spiritual masters comes in everyone's life. In 1992, Maharaj Shree came with all these monks, P.P. Swami, and that was a very defining moment for me. To be able to learn the teaching of spirituality directly from the descendants was a unique and huge opportunity that was presented to me, one which I grabbed with my both hands. A few people have fortunate to have a confluence of the genetic inheritance and sung, the opportunity to come in contact with the true master, but there may be not the conducive environment or to be the right location. I have been very fortunate about this. In the year 2000, when all the circumstances were aligned, including the genetic inheritance, the upbringing, the time was right, I took the first step, developing a physical infrastructure to create the fertile environment for of spiritual upliftment. In consultation with Maharaj Shree and my family, we proceed to develop the spiritual complex on Wentworth Avenue. Within a short period of time, we realized the need of a community center, which Ranjana has mentioned all those things. Along this, it was necessary to establish spiritual, religious, cultural, and educational classes for the community, as well as setting up senior citizen group. Along similar lines, we aligned our Gandhi Nivas Foundation vision of supporting the community to the core philosophy of Vasudevam Kutumbakam. In 2017, the commencement of the community center happened. The project was envisaged to have 9 months at the cost of 1 million each month. That was our budgeted figure. But due to the circumstances, including the COVID, lockdown, supply chain issues, as well as the tornado hit Papatoetoe, the project went for more than 36 months. While the cost was going completely out of proportion, I deeply appreciate my family who supported me with this initiative. New Zealand, what a wonderful country it is. You are one of its kind in the world. Having came here in 1973, this wonderful country offered me the opportunity to practice my profession, serve the needy community in Otara, raise my family, as well as enjoy my youth playing cricket with my friends. The motto has been kind in letting me practice my faith and religion while achieving these material goals. I take this opportunity to acknowledge the Tangata Whānau, the New Zealand government, the local bodies, the wider community, the neighbors of the temple complex, all of who have provided me the support through my journey. Last but not the least, I take this opportunity to express my deepest gratitude to my greatest supporter, my family, a person who has not only supported me in my spiritual journey, but in my practice, my social interaction, and in my life by and large, my wife Ranjana. I can't thank you. I cannot thank you enough, to salute you enough for all that you have done. I know you have lots of your friends here at various capacities. But when we see you at home with Rakesh, Meena, Rohit, Deepak, all 8 grandchildren, you take a minute details interest and you work through that one. When you come to this complex, I see you go straight to the kitchen, starting to cook, sweeping the floor, all sorts of things. You are a constant inspiration for all the energy you have put in everything you do. Thank you for being my partner. Thank you for being my family. Thank you for being you. Finally, once again, I would like to welcome each and every one of you to this grand event. Encourage you to participate in the festivities and enjoy the delicious meal, Mahaprasad, cooked by all the Satsangis. Thank you very much, and Jai Swaminarayan.
Thank you, Doctor. So the dream has finally come true, and there were some people who were also instrumental in making this happen. They could not come here yesterday when that was the day of the acknowledgement, and I now take this opportunity to acknowledge Mahesh Bhai from Roop Darshan, who gave his premises for not 1 week or 1 month or 1 year, but for 10 years for the satsang to happen in that small premises. So Mahesh Bhai, we really are very grateful to you, and we missed you yesterday, but thank you for coming today. And we also have John Williams from United Industries Limited, who has been a very generous donor, apart from giving us the beautiful material that is inside the building that you can't see, but it's all in the structure. And thank you for that, Mr. Williams, and we welcome you as well. We also acknowledge the presence and the continuous support of Kanwaljit Singh Ji Bakshi, ex-MP of National Party, and Paramjit Ji Parmar, both of whom have been helping us and supporting us behind the scenes. Now it is the time to listen to the powers that be, today, yesterday, and tomorrow. So we'll start with Honorable Michael Wood, the Minister of Crown and also Minister of Auckland, to say something about how he feels this will add to the beauty of Auckland. May I have the Minister here to give his speech? Thank you.
Ai o ki te aorangi, ai o ki te whenua, ai o ki te ao katoa, ai o ki a tātou, e te kaihanga tēnā koe, e ranganui, e papa tuanuku, tēnā korua, i ngā mate, haere, 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 e te hunga ora, e te hau kainga, tēnā koutou, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. May there be peace in the heavens, peace in the land, peace with all people, and peace with us here. Namaste, namaskaram, vanakkam, jai Swaminarayan. Ladies and gentlemen, I think most of us here might agree that there are twin capitals of the New Zealand Indian community, and those are Mount Roskill and Papatoetoe. And so I'm very pleased to be an emissary from that other capital to join you here for a wonderful event at this magnificent facility. If I can begin with a few acknowledgements. Firstly to our local elected leaders, the Honourable Jenny Salisa, our MP for the electorate here for Papatoetoe, from the Auckland Council, Lotu Fuli. We have representatives from a range of political parties, and I'll acknowledge all of the leaders who are here with us today. Christopher Luxon from the National Party, the Right Honourable Winston Peters from New Zealand First, and David Seymour from the ACT Party. I also acknowledge Rakesh Naidu, New Zealand Police, and all other community and faith leaders who are here with us today. In my role as Minister for Auckland, one of the privileges that I have is to be a small part of and to connect to the dynamism and diversity that makes this city what it is. Over the past week, I've joined with people from other political parties, police and others, marching at the Pride Parade to stand in support of our rainbow communities. I've attended Te Matatini, where Māori from all around New Zealand, including some of the regions most hit by Cyclone Gabrielle, gathered together at Eden Park to share their talent and incredible ability at a wonderful event that was attended by thousands. And now I have the privilege of being here with you today to celebrate 15 years of the Mandir serving this community and this extraordinary facility, the Swaminarayan Complex, which serves the community in so many other ways. And two things strike me about all of those things that I've been able to attend this week. That in this city we have extraordinary diversity, we have extraordinary dynamism. We're a city that has grown up and capable enough of accepting that we have different faiths, different cultures, different communities, and there is a place for everyone here. But what sits in behind all of those events that I've talked about, and what most certainly sits in behind the spirit of this place, is a spirit of unity, that we celebrate our diversity and our difference, but fundamentally we recognise that there are some things that are bigger that draw us all together in our humanity and in our experience here as citizens and residents of this great city and this great country of Aotearoa, New Zealand. And as I look around the walls, I see reference to your saints and your history in the Hindu tradition, but also Nelson Mandela, Albert Einstein, the Golden Temple of our Sikh brothers and sisters here as well, recognising the universality of the human experience and the fact that we have much to learn from one another and that we are better when we do that and have that openness and inclusiveness. And so I celebrate and acknowledge what is unique and beautiful about this place, but the way in which you celebrate our shared unity and also bring us together. The second thing I wish to acknowledge is the vision that sits in behind this wonderful complex. There's an old Māori whakatoki which translated says, without vision, the people will perish. And we heard something of that vision before. Kantibai, Ranjana, and all of the other visionaries, without whom we would not have this place and we would not be in this room here today. But vision then has to be backed by people who use their heads and their hands to get things done. And so I celebrate and acknowledge everyone who's used their heads and their hands to make that vision a reality through some of those difficult times that Kantibai just talked to us about over the last 15 years as well. Tamaki Makaurau, Auckland is, in my view, the best city in the world. And it's good because of places like this, and it's good because of the people who are here who make these things happen. I know that through this place, you will continue to prosper, thrive, and serve our city. I acknowledge everyone who's made it a reality and wish you well in the many years ahead in which you will serve the city in all of its diversity and in all of its unity. Nō reira, tēnā koutou, tēnā tātou katoa. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Honorable Michael Wood. Now may I call the gentleman who left an airline to take this country into a new direction, not yet honorable, but hopefully soon, Mr. Christopher Luxon, leader of the opposition at this point from National Party.
Namaskar, namaskaram, kia ora, good morning everybody. It is so exciting to be here on what is a very auspicious occasion to see this wonderful centre that's being opened here today. Can I just also join and acknowledge other political and community leaders that are here, particularly Michael Wood, Winston Peters, David Seymour, my fellow MPs that are here, Melissa Lee, Jenny, Brooke, great to see you here as well. And can I also just acknowledge all the community leaders that are here and say thank you so much for all your contribution that you have taken. There are two people, though, that I think we really need to esteem and to acknowledge. And we've heard the story of Dr. Kanti Patel, and we know his wonderful wife, Ranja. And we just want to say thank you so much for all of your contribution to the community, because you have lived a model life and you have actually made a contribution to something bigger than just yourselves. And the way that you have worked together as a team, that you have supported each other, I want you to know that we are very grateful for everything that you have done for our community and continue to do for our community, for the example that you set for us all to follow. Know that you are deeply loved, you are greatly appreciated, and we are very grateful for everything that you have done for us and continue to do for us. Can I just say, it is a wonderful special occasion. I mean, this is going to be a fantastic gift. From this place are going to come some fantastic new memories. We're going to be able to celebrate and be together and to have many wonderful times and occasions here together. But to outreach into the community, to help those that are in desperate need and to actually make a contribution to the community, I think is just so critical and so important. Can I just say to all of you that are here, thank you for being part of this great community. I know you're going to have many years and decades ahead of special memories in this place. But I also want to say, thank you so much as an Indian community for all that you have gifted New Zealand as well. Because we are a great country, and as Michael said, we are a fantastic country that has tremendous diversity in it. But you have made New Zealand a much better and a much richer place, not just economically, but socially, culturally, and of all your contribution. And we've seen the example of Dr. Kanti. He talked about his life arriving here in New Zealand. And many of you, it's the same story. You come here, we see you, we know how hard you work to get ahead for yourselves, your family and your community, and it's a great role model and a great example to the rest of New Zealand. So we appreciate you, We thank you and we wish you all nothing but the greatest success in this very special place, this wonderful asset, and with wonderful future memories ahead of you. Take care, have a wonderful day. Take care.
Thank you so much, Mr. Lexon. Now, may I invite David Seymour, leader of the ACT Party, for his speech. Thank you.
Well, namaste and Jai Swaminarayan. Thank you. I want to congratulate Mr. Dr. and Mrs. Patel and all those who have contributed to make today possible. I think that this inauguration today is almost certainly the happiest thing happening in New Zealand on this day, with everything else going on. Isn't it wonderful to see a place that tells me at least three things? One is that life is not like bad weather. You know, people can change the future if they bring together the drive, the desire, the resources and the purpose. Then this wonderful complex that started as a dream can become a reality. People really can make a difference in their own lives. And I congratulate everyone who's worked with their head and their hands to make this possible today. It also is a reminder that New Zealand is a modern, multicultural society with a place for everybody, and the tolerance and the inclusivity that is part of this place and this faith, I think is something that bodes well for the future, not just of Auckland, but actually gives hope for all of humanity. And finally, the practical help that this community gives to people in hard times, not just in Auckland, not just in New Zealand, but around the world when they find themselves in time of difficulty. This community and this place has been there to actually roll up their sleeves, muck in, and help people get through adversity. These are absolutely wonderful things to celebrate, and that's why I believe this inauguration today has got to be the happiest thing happening in New Zealand on this day. Thank you very much for including myself and ACT's Deputy Leader, Brooke Van Velden, in it. I hope that you have a wonderful day and many wonderful years to come from this wonderful and beautiful place. Thank you very much.
May I now request Right Honourable Mr. Winston Peters, leader of the New Zealand First Party. Mr. Winston Peters.
Namaste. Greetings, kia ora, tēnā koutou katoa. Thank you very much for the invitation to be at the opening of this most important complex today. It is common to be given all sorts of invitations, and some of them can be awfully tiresome and terribly boring. The exception is today that it's been a serious lesson in sacrifice, effort, and commitment, and it's been quite a delight, even to the extent of not eating anything this morning because there's going to be a lunch this afternoon. Something serious to look for. And Swami, when you were talking about the selfishness and ego and sort of mercantilism of so many people in our society, I thought, you must know there are a lot of politicians coming along today. But it was a great lesson, particularly hearing about Schumacher, who still, I think, holds the record alongside Lewis Hamilton of the greatest number of Formula One winners in all time. Now, the other thing I would want to say is this. It's frequent at an occasion like this to hear conversations about commitment and effort, to hear Dr. Patel and his wife's and his family's story. The difference about the comments made today is as clear as daylight. Everything that is said by way of accolade and eulogy or praise happens to be true. And that means it's been a great pleasure to be here today and to share it and to admire that all this effort has gone into something when upon first driving into it, you believe immediately something pretty special's happened here. I think we need to consult these people more about governmental decisions going forward. Well, when we talk about build back better, let's have people who know what they're talking about in the first place. But thank you very, very much for the invitation to be here today. It's been something special in circumstances where it has to be. And congratulations again, Dr. Patel, Mrs. Patel. One can tell who knows what's going on just by the presentation and the confidence. And it's a wonderful thing to see. And thank you again for having us here. Kia ora tātou.
I'm pretty sure everyone in the hall was as happily surprised as I was listening to how Right Honorable Vincent Peters was about asking people who know before taking government decisions. Thank you for that advice. May I now request the local MP, our own Jenny Salesa from the Labour Party, to please come up and briefly address us. Thank you.
Kia ora koutou katoa, namaste, namaskaram, tulou, 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 pe tukumoa ke hufanga he ngai tala whakatapu, ka tā mō ka whanga māre koe ni ke whautaki lea no whawhawhangai, a me mipa whale lea me whai tō ni. I would like to first of all acknowledge our holy saints who have made a very long trek to be here with us this morning. Thank you for the blessings and thank you for blessing us and gracing us with your presence. I'd also like to acknowledge our Minister for Auckland, Minister for Transport, Minister for Immigration, the Honourable Michael Wood, the Leader of the Opposition, Christopher Luxon, Right Honourable Winston Peters, the Leader of New Zealand First, Leader of the ACT Party, David Seymour, and his co-leader, Brooke Van Velden, Members of Parliament, Melissa Lee, and former Members of Parliament who are here. I'd also like to especially acknowledge our local councillor, Lotu Fuli, and my deep gratitude and thanks to the two people who are behind this vision. And Right Honourable Winston Peters is right when he says that these two people actually know what they do. Dr. Kanti Patel and your strongest supporter, Rajna Patel. As you were giving your speech, Dr. Kanti Patel, both Melissa Lee and I were actually in tears, especially towards the end. It is so true, not only the support that you have from your wife, but the legacy that you've built as the local member of parliament that covers both Otara and Papatoetoe, and to see a physician like you build up the largest healthcare service from Otara, spread it right throughout Aotearoa, New Zealand, and to leave that legacy, but to actually build up this complex here in Papatoetoe. Also the legacy of your wife, Rajna Patel, and everything that she does, and the advice that she gives our police, and everything that she does, not only to serve our community. It is so good to see such a fantastic partnership, come through. And you serve more than 3,000 or so folks here. Right throughout COVID, you also serve our community, and I know this will be a place where lots of weddings, lots of conferences, lots of things that the community, not just the Indian community, but everyone around Aotearoa, New Zealand will come through. And so my heartfelt thanks to both of you. Thank you for your vision, thank you for your sacrifice, and thank you for everything that this complex is going to assist with our local community here. Malo o pito toa ofa e ki atu.
Now may I have the spokesperson for ethnic communities from National Party, Melissa Lee, on the stage, please. Thank you.
Bole Swaminarayan Maharaj ki jai. I'd like to first of all acknowledge the Swamis, the saints who are visiting our small country, from the big country of India, and all of the devotees who are actually here. I obviously like to acknowledge my leader, my boss, Christopher Luxon, who will soon be Right Honourable Christopher Luxon, but not yet. We're till October 14th. I'd like to acknowledge Mike Wood, the Minister, who's here, leader of New Zealand First, Right Honourable Winston Peters, leader of ACT Party, David Seymour, and the Deputy, Brooke Van Velden, and my colleague who just embarrassed me by calling me a crybaby, Jenny Salisa, and my big brother, Kanwaljit Singh Bakshi, and my friend Pamjit Pama, former MPs of the National Party. This today, I'd like to acknowledge everyone who's actually here, because this is a celebration. Although listening to Dr. Kanti Bai, I've never heard him talk about his family the way he did today. I bet you Ranjana Ben was actually in tears, and probably the tissues came out, or the handkerchief came out. But this is a celebration of 15 years of the temple. I remember turning up there with John Key and big brother Kanwaljit, and actually celebrating and turning up for some of the community events. But I don't think I was actually called up here because I'm an MP. I think I was called up here because I've known the family for a long time. Before my political life, I used to do a television show called Asia Down Under, and I've known you for that long. Is it 20 years or something? I think I've just aged all of us. And this is the extension of the great work of the Mandir. And as many speakers have actually said prior to, this will be the place where the community will come and celebrate and cry together. And it is a wonderful place to be. But it comes, I guess it's sort of the ultimate creation, and the genesis and the center of this being is, I guess, Dr. Kanti Bai and Ranjana Ben, who actually epitomizes the generosity, the humility, and the humbleness that I have actually seen over decades. And if I could actually say, the medical practice that you actually began, which has now become one of the biggest in New Zealand, Tamaki Health Group, it is not a place that only serves people who can actually pay the medical bills. I think you actually charge very little for people, or not at all for people who can't actually afford it. And that is the basis of your service. That actually gave rise to Gandhinivas. I was there at the opening in 2014 with Honourable Judith Collins when she actually opened the first home. And imagine the difference that actually made. In the old days, when there is actually family violence, it was the women and the children who actually got taken away to the refuge or find somewhere else to go, which disrupted their daily lives. But Gandhinivas had a different vision, that they actually leave the family there and take the men on and actually teach them a new way. It actually was a life-changing experience for both the men and the community to find a new way to actually deal with that. And I actually commend you for the work that you've actually made. And I think Ranjana Ben has actually also taught me something new about myself. I never knew that I was a good auctioneer. When Ranjana actually says, you're coming to the fundraiser for Gandhinivas, how many of you can say no? No, not one of you. Even Kanti can't. And I turned up, and you raised so much money from the community to actually finance the work that you actually do. And this is the other. And I just like to say, well done. And not only to you, but to every single person who have actually donated, who have volunteered, who have sweated, and who have prayed, because it cannot be done by all of us. It is the will of God. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Melissa. And it is true that you are a friend of the family, as well as a very good spokesperson for the party. You mentioned Gandhinivas, and that's definitely an achievement of a few people in this room actually. We have Superintendent Rakesh Naidu here, and we have Venkatji in the room. I saw him a little earlier. Venkat Ramanji from Indian Newslink. And of course, Ranjanaji was right from the beginning part of it. So thank you for reminding people that that's also another good task happening in the family and looking after people who need help to become better people themselves. We will soon be watching the message from India, and although it is in Gujarati, but you will also have the English version being played from the AV control at the back. It will come up on the screen. So just give us a second, I suppose. Are we ready at the back with the message? Wonderful. So this is the video message from the Mota Maharashi, which has been sent from India. Mota Maharashi is the father of the current Maharashi, the current head priest. And he was the one you saw in the photographs from the 90s and the 2000s. So let's have the message on the screen and we can all watch it and listen to it. Thank you. Namehi, Dhanyavad, Shukriya, Abhar. All different words meaning the same thing that we feel now for all of you to have been here. I express the gratitude on behalf of the ISSO family to all the people who are here, especially all the Swamis for having come from India and brought that wonderful blessing of Maharashi. I convey my thanks to the dignitaries who have been part of our celebrations, who came and made this celebration even better. I thank all the guests from overseas. They have come from Australia, India. We definitely appreciate your gesture. And we thank all the volunteers who have been working tirelessly. More than the volunteers, we thank their families who have been tolerating their working tirelessly. We thank the people of New Zealand who made it possible for a lady working in a vegetable and a fruit shop and a doctor living in a bachelor's accommodation to become such great personalities in this country. So this country, we convey our thanks to the people, the warm-hearted Tangata Whenua, the warm-hearted people of this country. We give our thanks. And we give the thanks to this nation for the opportunities to grow, prosper, and be together and have our community together. We have representatives from so many associations. If I forget some name or if I haven't seen you, I'm really sorry. But we have Auckland Indian Association, we have the Nepalese Association, we have the Kolma Road Gurdwara Committee here, Pritpalji, I can see you. And we have the Tamil Association here, the Shree Science Sansthan, Gayatri Parivar, Chinmay Mission, the Bharatiya Samaj, the ISKCON, and Indian Newslink is well represented. Radio Tarana is here. This Radio Spice, I think it is called, Navtej, your media. And we have, as I said, everybody who has some good feelings about this organization, about this family are here. And I thank all of you for having spared your Sunday morning for us. We will not let you go without having the Mahaprasad, which is downstairs. We will have the lunch. But before that, may I request you to please be seated here while the Santos depart, and then we will all go downstairs to the dining hall. Just be in your seats for a couple of minutes while the saints depart. Thank you so much for having come here. Sorry, Santo, एक minute. It would be incomplete if we did not finish the day by giving our heartfelt thanks to that couple, which I just mentioned, started from a vegetable fruit shop, married a doctor, and has brought this to this country. Let's all give a standing ovation to them. Dr. Kanti and Ranjana. Ranjana Ben, let's be here. Thank you so much. Please be seated again. And if you haven't had the chance to go around the temple or the complex, there would be volunteers out there eager to take you around and show you the beautiful complex as well as the temple, which has been around, but you may not have seen it earlier. You can definitely ask for that at the end of this event once the sons have departed. Thank you once again. And as I mentioned before, lunch is being served downstairs. We hope to see you often here on happy occasions and also on that side if you are coming for worship and service and devotion to God. Thank you very much. We may just wait for one more minute and then we'll start departing outside to the dining hall. We may now leave. Thank you so much.